Have you ever thought that something as simple as what you sip in your cup could quietly be shaping your future health in ways more powerful than any pill? Imagine this. You walk into your kitchen in the morning, still a little groggy, reach for that warm, comforting cup of tea, and without even realizing it, you might be lowering your blood pressure, protecting your heart, and even balancing your cholesterol. Sounds almost unbelievable, right? We've been conditioned to think that real solutions to big health issues have to come in the form of complicated prescriptions or painful lifestyle overhauls. But what if I told you that the secret might already be hiding on your shelf in a little paper bag of tea leaves? Now, I know what you might be thinking. I've had tea all my life. Are you telling me something that simple could really make a difference at my age? That's exactly the kind of question I want us to wrestle with today, because sometimes the answers we overlook are the ones that work best when we finally give them a chance. Tea isn't just a beverage, it's one of the oldest healing rituals humanity has carried through centuries. And if you're over 50, dealing with creeping pressure numbers, rising cholesterol levels, or just the fear of heart disease in the back of your mind, this conversation is for you. When we talk about high blood pressure and cholesterol, it's not just numbers on a chart. It's about whether you can walk up a flight of stairs without feeling winded, whether your doctor keeps reminding you about another prescription, whether you can enjoy time with your grandchildren without worrying about chest tightness, fatigue, or worse. And here's the shocking truth. Both high blood pressure and high cholesterol are often called silent killers because you don't feel them until they've already been quietly damaging your body for years. That's why I find tea so fascinating, not as a magic bullet, but as a daily habit that works in the background, gently shifting your body back toward balance. So let's talk about some of the teas that research has linked with lower blood pressure and healthier cholesterol. The first one might not surprise you, but the science behind it will. Green tea. It's more than a fad drink you see on wellness blogs. Green tea is loaded with compounds called catechins, a type of antioxidant that has been shown to improve the flexibility of blood vessels, allowing them to expand and contract more easily. Why does that matter? Because when your arteries are stiff, your blood pressure rises, but when they're more relaxed, blood flows smoothly and pressure lowers naturally. I remember reading about a study where participants who drank several cups of green tea daily had a measurable reduction in both systolic and diastolic blood pressure. It wasn't overnight, it wasn't dramatic like a pill, but it was consistent. And consistency is what keeps you healthy over decades, not weeks. Personally, I've made a habit of brewing a cup of green tea in the late morning instead of reaching for another coffee. At first, I missed the strong jolt of caffeine, but over time, I noticed something unexpected. I didn't crash in the afternoon. I felt calmer, and even my doctor commented that my blood pressure was looking better. That's not just anecdotal, that's lived experience layered on top of science. Now let's move to another tea that doesn't get enough attention, hibiscus tea. If you've ever seen that brilliant ruby red color, it looks as bold as it tastes. But what's really bold is the impact it can have on your blood pressure. Several studies have shown that hibiscus tea can work almost like a natural ACE inhibitor, which is the same mechanism behind some blood pressure medications. That means it helps your blood vessels stay open and reduces strain on the heart. I remember when I first tried hibiscus tea, I wasn't sure if I'd like that tart cranberry-like flavor, but it quickly became a refreshing alternative to sugary juices. For someone trying to cut down on sodas or sweet drinks, hibiscus is a powerhouse because it feels indulgent without sabotaging your health. I've had friends tell me they swapped out their afternoon soda for iced hibiscus tea, and within weeks not only noticed a drop in blood pressure, but also started shedding a few stubborn pounds. That's how lifestyle changes sneak up on you. You don't even feel deprived, you just feel better. If you've never tried it, I encourage you to brew a cup, sip it slowly, and ask yourself if your body doesn't almost instinctively say, yes, this feels right. And here's a twist. Black tea, the one most Americans are familiar with, can also play a role. Now, it's true that black tea has more caffeine than green or herbal teas, and caffeine can sometimes raise blood pressure temporarily. But the polyphenols in black tea have been linked to improved cholesterol profiles. I know someone who grew up in the South and couldn't imagine life without sweet tea. When their doctor told them to cut back on sugar, they were devastated. until they learned that unsweetened black tea, enjoyed hot or cold, could still give them that comforting ritual while supporting their heart. What really matters is how you prepare it. If you drown it in sugar, of course, you cancel out the benefits. But a clean, strong cup of black tea can be a steadying force, especially when you're trying to move away from coffee jitters. Let's not forget oolong tea, often called the in-between tea because it sits halfway between green and black in terms of oxidation. This unique balance gives it both the cholesterol-lowering catechins of green tea and the robust flavors of black tea. Some research suggests that regular oolong drinkers may see reduced LDL cholesterol, the so-called bad cholesterol, while supporting higher HDL cholesterol, which protects your arteries. I like to think of oolong as the tea for people who want a little sophistication without too much bitterness. If you're over 50, you might appreciate how oolong feels like a bridge between traditions, and in a way, it mirrors our own stage of life. Not young and reckless anymore, but not ready to slow down either, still carrying strength and resilience. Then there's rooibos, the South African red bush tea. This one's caffeine-free, which makes it a great option in the evening, and it's rich in antioxidants that target inflammation. Inflammation, as you probably know, is a root cause of so many modern health problems, from heart disease to joint pain. What makes rooibos stand out is its potential to reduce oxidative stress in the arteries, helping them stay elastic and healthy. I've shared rooibos with people who normally can't tolerate caffeine after dinner, and they've told me it became their nighttime ritual, replacing desserts or late-night snacks that used to sabotage their health goals. And here's the thing, when you swap a harmful habit for a healing one, you don't just add years to your life, you add life to your years. But I don't want you to think this is all about exotic teas. Even something as humble as chamomile, known for calming nerves and helping with sleep, has indirect benefits. How? Stress raises blood pressure. Poor sleep raises blood pressure. Anxiety raises blood pressure. When you drink chamomile and allow your body to shift into relaxation mode, you're reducing those hidden drivers that keep your numbers high. I once shared this with a woman who told me, I didn't realize my biggest blood pressure problem was actually my stress, not my salt. That's when it clicked for her. Chamomile wasn't just about sleep. It was about protecting her heart through calm. So how do you take all of this information and actually make it work for you? Because let's be honest, knowledge without action changes nothing. My advice is simple. Don't try to overhaul your life in one day. Pick one tea that resonates with you, maybe hibiscus if blood pressure is your biggest concern, green tea if cholesterol worries you, or chamomile if stress keeps you awake at night, and make it your daily ritual. Brew it mindfully, enjoy it without distraction, and give your body time to respond. Within weeks, you may notice subtle changes, a calmer mood, fewer sugar cravings, better numbers at your next checkup. That's the beauty of tea. It doesn't scream its benefits at you. It whispers them consistently, day after day. And let me pause here to say, if you've tried any of these teas or you're curious about them, I'd love to hear from you. What has been your experience? Drop a comment below because your story might inspire someone else who's still skeptical. And if this conversation resonates with you, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on more simple, science-backed ways to reclaim your health after 50. Now here's the twist I promised you at the end. We often look at tea as a remedy, something we add on top of our existing lifestyle like a Band-Aid. But what if the real power of tea isn't just in lowering blood pressure or cholesterol, but in transforming the way we relate to our bodies? Think about it. Tea slows you down. It makes you pause. It invites you to be intentional, to choose health in a small, repeated act. And those small acts, compounded daily, are what keep your heart beating strong, your arteries clear, and your future brighter. The real secret isn't just in the tea leaves, it's in the ritual, the choice, the mindset that says, I'm worth taking care of. Because you are. And if one cup of tea at a time can remind you of that truth, then just maybe that's the medicine we've been missing all along.